So, Demoman may be the hardest to defend out of all the 9 classes, just because of his damage outweighing all the other classes of TF2. But powerful and overpowered are 2 different things, and today we're going to go over the concept of powerful versus overpowered in TF2, and apply it to the demo, because believe it or not, powerful and overpowered are 2 different things. So, everyone tune in for episode 3 of Devil's Advocate. To first defend the Demoman, we must first explain what makes something overpowered. I think the best way to describe the term overpowered in TF2 is that they have little to no effective counterplay and are usually unpredictable. What needs to be kept in mind is that, something can be very powerful but still won't be OP, due to it being playable against with existing counterplay. We can best see this by taking a quick look at the Scout. He's a 1v1 menace, but against a team with people supporting each other, finding opportunities, the Scout becomes a lot more difficult and challenging. But it's still possible if the Scout plays good enough and uses his head. Anyways, now that we have properly described what OP is, we can talk about common arguments and counter-arguments. Some common arguments that I personally have noticed about Demo is his area denial, sticky spam, and damage potential. We're going to be talking about counterplay and common player mistakes that some people may make, making some aspects of the demo seem OP. So, without further ado, let's talk about Demo's area denial. So, it is no doubt that area denial is a very powerful tool in TF2. But, is there existing counterplay? Let's talk about it. Playing with your team is the best way to counter area denial from Demo. If you're not one of the classes that can effectively kill Demo by themselves, or with not nearly as much team play required than the other classes, and these are Scout, Spy, and Sniper, because they can kill way past or way too close, countering his sticky bomb charge time. But what about the other 6 classes? Well, they can get past Demo's stickies more effectively if they play with their team. A Pyro and a Demo should be near your medic, and sometimes a heavy. They get rid of Demo spam via air blast, health buffs, tanking hits, shooting stickies, etc. So, if your combo, which is the medic, Demo, Pyro, and sometimes heavy, stays close to each other, they shouldn't die to area denial. And as for Engineer, you're usually acting more defensively and won't commonly find yourself facing Demo's area denial. So, Engineer should be chilling unless the Demo gets too close to your sentries, lays sticky on them, and then it's kind of wraps for your building there. Okay, let's talk about sticky spam, because I know how it annoys the living hell out of plenty of people. And on one hand, I see how, but you gotta realize, TF2 is a team game, and unless you're one of the classes who are made to kill people with not as much help from your team, you shouldn't find yourself in a situation where you're dying to sticky spam. Because if you think about it, you're a lot less likely to die to sticky spam if you're in a proper position to survive. That position being a lot closer to your teammates that can actually support you. Because if let's say I'm in a lone heavy, I'm caught off guard, and I'm sticky spammed out. Well, that happened because I was out of position as heavy. Characters that rely more on their team need to focus on positioning a lot more. There's classes that have a little more flexibility, and there's classes who don't. Scout, Spy, Sniper are classes who have flexibility. Pyro can have flexibility sometimes, and Engineer can also have flexibility if you're playing Battle Engineer. But for the rest, there's a lot less viability, or a lot less, flexibility. Demo is a class with a pretty high damage potential, there's no doubt about it. And if you aren't playing with your team, then you will get absolutely rolled. I will say this time and time again, and I know it's getting kind of annoying, but a good Demo tests your abilities to play as a team. You can't win against a really good Demo without playing with your team. That's just a fact. Demo's area denial just comes with high damage. But if you're playing together, you can fight Demoman together and leave solo pushing to the people or classes who are more effective at doing that. Because remember, it's a team game, and I'm sorry, I know I'm repeating it, it's just kind of the truth. That's how you gotta fight Demo. And I know you might be saying, hey, I mean, I might not be with a good team, or my team may not be calming. Something you gotta realize, the Demo may just as likely have the same conditions as you are having, and if you do something just as simple as playing with your team, even if they aren't the best, even if they're not calming with you, you should be able to get something done. Just by nature. Why? Well, 2 people outweigh 1 person, 3 people outweigh 2 people, 4 people outweigh, and then so on and on and on and on. And if the Demo's playing with this combo and you're playing with your combo, then it's a fair fight. Okay, but before we end, I need to bring up one thing about the Demo that I think is a completely valid argument and something I actually agree with. So, Demo's reserve ammo count is kind of dumb. You have 12 explosives in clip combining your stickies and grenade launcher. Demo's received plenty of nerfs in the past, but he still has stuff like this, and you gotta argue. You know, 12 explosives in your reserve combining both of your weapons is a little excessive. I know the reload time on the sticky bomb launcher is long, but that doesn't change the fact you still have 8 in your reserve. That's a lot to work with. I know most demos use stickies to spam it out, so they never really realize it, but you have enough in your reserve to sticky spam, keep some stickies behind you to watch out, and maybe some stickies on you, just in case somebody goes directly at you, maybe your spy pops up behind you, so you gotta detonate. Yeah, you just have so much, and it's kind of ridiculous. That's the one argument that I'll kind of let by. Hey, thank you for making it to the end of the video. Just a few things. Thank you so much for 50 subs. And we hit over 1K views on 2 of our videos. That's just like so big for me. Like, oh my goodness, thanks. And if you have any critiques, information you'd like to throw out there, any suggestions, I'd be happy to hear it. Leave it in the comments. I love audience engagement. There's no such thing as a negative critique, in my opinion. You're supposed to learn something from comments, you know. As for the thumbnail, my friend, he made it for me. He saw my YouTube on his recommended. So I'm linking his Steam. Huge props to him. Thank you so much for that. It's great to actually have an SFM thumbnail for once. It makes me feel like I'm like one of the big guys or something. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and make sure to drink water.